In today's video, I break down exactly how to use a treadmill to get shredded. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, well, I liked my walk and talk videos with you so much, I thought I'd keep that going today, but it's really windy outside. So instead of walking and talking, I'm gonna bring you inside the ProPhysique studio here in Tampa, Florida, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the question that I got from my Instagram direct message. So if you guys have any questions for me, just go right here on the screen to my Instagram direct message, shoot them over, and what I'll do is I'll answer them here on the videos. And if you have questions that I don't get to, well, just be patient. I can only do one video a day right now. And you can also put questions in the comment section. I really like answering comments, and what I'd like to do today is read the question to you and then we'll discuss it. So it goes like this. I hear you talk about incline walking. What speed incline do you like or recommend? Do you keep it at the same for the whole walk or vary it? Thanks. Hope you had a great weekend. I did have a great weekend, guys. Just so in case you didn't know, this here is the Mr. Olympia shirt that I got from being at the Mr. Olympia competition this weekend. And well, I had my first ever competitor competing in, but don't worry, I got tons of footage about that weekend, and I'm going to be editing it over the next couple days and putting it on the internet. So let's talk a little bit about walking, and I thought it'd be perfect. I'll show you some examples. I have my treadmill over there that I used for my entire contest prep from 2018. So dieting is ultimately all about creating a caloric deficit. And so the reason I love using the incline treadmill is because I think people underestimate how many calories you burn walking. Now, I simply start the process of trying to lose weight by going for walks outside, okay? So if you are a particularly sedentary person and you start going for walks, you're gonna suddenly realize there are some great benefits to that. Now, the incline treadmill or the treadmill is great for a few reasons. One, not everybody can go outside. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's rainy. The treadmill itself actually has a lot of benefits. Now, if you can purchase one for your home, I find there's a great value in that. In fact, I had a client last year compete in a bodybuilding show named Brian DaCosta. He only did walking on a treadmill at his house while he worked. He walked so slow he could actually type. So there's just some great value in being able to use a treadmill at your house, but I understand not everyone has that luxury. But if you go to a gym, sometimes you might not want to walk for as long. Well, there are some tricks that you can use here. It's pretty simple. If you increase the speed or increase the incline of the treadmill, you're going to increase the amount of calories that you burn. Now, a lot of people will ask me questions like, well, how do I know if I'm burning fat? How do I know if I'm burning carbohydrates? Ultimately, all you need to understand is that if you're creating a caloric deficit, you're going to be burning fat over a 24-hour window. So the other part of that question is, are you burning fat or carbs during exercise? Well, the intensity of the exercise determines the fuel source that your body uses. If you get up from your desk and start sprinting, within a few seconds, your body is going to switch to a highly glycolytic system, meaning it's burning carbohydrates from the muscle cells. However, if you get up from your desk and start walking very rapidly, you will be in a fat burning mode, meaning your body is going to begin breaking down fats for fuel. So technically walking is going to be a little bit more fat burning, although it doesn't really matter unless you're creating a caloric deficit throughout the day. So why do I love incline walking or walking in general? Well, because it's pretty easy to perform. It's pretty low stress. High intensity cardio can be very difficult, and while it has some great benefits, not everybody can perform it. You have to be a healthy individual, you have to have access to things, and if you're doing any type of other concurrent training, well, it can really interfere with that training. So for my bodybuilders that I push really hard with their training programs, what I really like to do is give them some walking to do. And I can vary the intensity enough that we can keep calorie burning going up while still keeping stress relatively low. Now, if you guys would like to be a part of our $50,000 transformation challenge, the entry ends December 31st, unless you get a late entry, which is extended to January 15th. I'll put a link below, but we're going to include some things like diet. We're going to include your nutrition, your training, all the setup, as well as a private Facebook group where we can all get in there and chat. We're going to be doing 2 live videos per week answering your questions. It becomes a wonderful community. This is our second time doing it, and I promise we're giving away $50,000 cash because you guys are so awesome. The examples of walking that I love to use best would be simply like walking on a hill outside. When I tell my clients, hey, how high should the intensity be? I say generally you should be able to hold a conversation. All right, guys, so I know it's a little bit noisy, so sorry for that, but I just wanted to give you an example of a perfect place to start. So as you can see, I'm having no trouble talking to you guys while I'm walking. So I think this is a good place to start for cardio. So I'm going to show you what the machine is set at. We are set at a 3 incline, a speed of 3. Now, of course, you can always adjust this based on your needs. But the goal here would be to be able to walk the entire time without being too stressed out. Now, if this is too much of an incline, sometimes machines are different. You can always adjust that or the speed, and simply adjusting it to a higher incline or a faster speed will increase the amount of calories that you burn. So get out there, get walking. Now, when you change the speed of a cardio session simply by going faster or slower, that's called interval training. You're gonna burn a few more calories the faster you go, so you can certainly do intervals throughout your training session. Something I like to do is I'll push myself a little bit harder and harder during the workout. When I start to feel gassed or fatigued, I will back off to a very, very slow walk, allow myself some recovery, and then push again. This all comes down to things like preference, what you enjoy. Sometimes changing the variable speed can actually allow you to kind of enjoy it a little bit better because you feel yourself pushing. It all comes down to what you enjoy, but ultimately, what you do on that treadmill over there is going to be only part of the equation. You have to be paying attention to your diet. You have to know how many calories you're taking in, and even better, if you can, focus on your macronutrients, how much protein, carbs, and fats, because it's not just calories, it's the makeup of those calories that are going to determine how your progress is going. Now, if you have no clue how to do any of this, which I fully understand, I was there at one time too, we have for free on prophysique.com a free beginner's guide that includes all of this information: how to train, how to eat, heck, how to learn about flexible dieting, how to pick out a gym. It's a free beginner's guide, and it approaches it from this perspective, that you are a true beginner, okay? So now that you've started doing cardio, let's say you start by doing 20 minutes walking outside. The next step would be, okay, if you plateau and you're tracking your calories, you can simply do one of the following things. You can either increase the time from, say, 20 minutes to 30 minutes for each session, or you can increase the incline or the speed for 20 or 30 minutes, okay? So you can take things up a notch by burning more calories. Also, if you're walking 3 times a week, you could move that to 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. So there are a lot of variables that you can play, but the most important thing is that you get a baseline for how much you're walking, how much you're doing, how many calories you're burning during that walk, okay? So if you're walking outside on a flat surface for 20 minutes versus walking on an incline for 20 minutes, well, you're gonna burn a few more calories on 20 minutes. What I like to do is create a baseline for that. Then we have a baseline for our caloric intake. Then we can play with things. If you don't have time for more cardio, you can simply choose to lower your calories. If you like where your calories are at, but you don't mind walking, well, you can simply add another day to your walking. You can add the intensity, whatever it needs to be. But as long as you are doing things for about a week, if you don't see progress, I would say that's a good time to start adjusting by either adding some cardio, adding some intensity, adding some speed, or reducing your calories. Okay, guys? So that is how we use walking to get shredded. Well, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Monday, and I'll talk to you soon.